I just wanted to give you a little bit of information about applying country colours to fencing uniforms. So when you start fencing internationally, the FIA require you to have a patch or a set design on your uniform so supporters can identify with you. Now, if you go onto the FIA website, you can have a look and you can see a list of all the different countries and what designs they require. Now, you have to have the design on both legs, but some countries have also decided to have a design on the arm as well. So if you look on the website, you can see what country has which design. Now, there are three ways of applying the patch or the logo onto the garments. The first is a sew-on patch, the second is a heat press, and the third is a spray-on stencil. And I'll talk to you about the advantages and disadvantages of each. Woven patches are a great solution because when you wash them, the colour doesn't fade, so they're very, very permanent. But the problem with them is for épée fences, because there's a ridge, some épée fencers find that it's a catching point for the weapon, and also because it's a thicker patch, it can, some people say if there's a really big design, it can restrict movement a bit, especially on long lunges. Most of the patches that we do also have a heat glue area on the back, which you can iron on, but this is a very, very temporary solution. It's kind of if you've lost your breeches and you're in a hotel room and you have an iron, you can apply it and it will last a few matches, but they really need to be sewn on to last properly. Applying the patch using heat press is great because you don't get the catching point that you can do in the sew-on patches, and of course they're very, very flexible. One of the problems with them is that you can't apply them to a place where there's a seam. So if there's a seam in the garment and you try and apply one of these patches, the heat doesn't spread evenly, and that means that there'll be an area where the patch can be picked off because the glue hasn't set properly. We find that they last, they look really good still after 20-25 washes, but it does depend on how hot you wash them and your type of washing machine, but we find that it's a very good long-lasting solution. You can also spray on a design. Now, how that works is we take a stencil, we attach it to the garment, and then we spray onto the cloth with the different colours of the logo. Now, depending on how many colours there are in the logo and how complex the design, does mean that sometimes the prices vary because it can be very time consuming. But of course, it's completely flat, so no catching hazard for épée. And it is perfectly flexible. It's as flexible as the cloth itself. The only problem is after each wash, it does fade. The more washes you have, the more it fades. And so after 20 to 30 washes, you will have a very faded design and you may need to get it redone.